You good, Matthew?
I'm good. Let's see if you can recapture the gusto of that.
I know. It felt so good. Let me see if I can do it again. And here we are with CC Buehler. CC, what is going on?
Just living life, man. How are you guys?
We're doing the same. We're podcasting magic every day.
That's right.
Magic.
Well,
Hell yeah.
first off, we want to say thank you for joining us. We're super pumped about this. You're our first lead singer of a punk band in Central Florida that has joined us during the summertime. So we love first.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Can I get that on like a little medal?
We'll
A
put it on a
certificate,
plaque.
maybe?
Yes.
Oh, plaque.
Hang it
Yes.
up.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so you're the lead singer of a band called No Handouts.
This is true.
How long have you guys been performing?
So do you mind a little origin story?
Of course, please.
Okay, cool. So, super long story short, I had thrown together a band for my birthday party in 2019. And I had been in a band back in 2014 for a couple months. It was an interesting band. I will not give any other qualities of that. It was cool to
Spicy.
be in. It was cool to be in. I made it myself as well. It was called Hear Us Roar. And
That's warped
yeah,
tour
and
material right there.
we thought so. We really did. We thought, it was angsty for sure. For 2014 standards anyways. And so we had that going, and then we were doing really well locally. We were like winning all these like battle of the bands and like local competitions and stuff, and it was really cool. But then I moved away to UCF, and I like flew back for a couple shows, but it just wasn't worth flying back for local shows, and it died very quickly. And so I hadn't been in a band in like a really long time, but I wanted to start a punk band a while back. But I was actually in this like super shitty relationship with my ex-best friend of like 11 years. And he basically had told me that his quote was, when I said I wanted to be in a band again, he said, you have so many talents like makeup and art, and I really think you should just let music be my thing. And as abusive relationships go, I was just like, okay, this isn't worth the fight. Like, yeah, I am good at makeup. Maybe I can focus on that. Like, whatever. And I put it off for so long. And then at the end of this horrible, horrible relationship, I was like, yo, fuck that dude. I should start a punk band. Like, I wanted to. Like, why did I listen to the word no? So my birthday was coming up, and my birthday is April 17th. So naturally, I usually have like a 420 party. And I was just like, dude, what would be the best showcase of like a punk band and like my newfound independence and like all that shit? And I was like, my fucking birthday party. So I like reached around to all like my little communities in Orlando, and I was just like, yo, you play guitar, and like, hey, you're in a band, someone that plays drums pretty well that might be down for like a little party, whatever. And that's kind of how No Handouts was born, because the party went so well that everyone was just like, so you guys are a band now, right? Like, you're doing this, like, we're gonna see you again. And I was like, just high off that feeling, and I was like, fuck yeah, you are. And so I ended up having to like replace pretty much all the members except for myself, because of like a lot of them just joined for the party. They had other commitments. They're already in 5 bands, whatever. And we finally threw together like our band end of May of last year, 2019. And by July 31st, 2019, we had our first show. We over capacity this tiny little venue down on Mills in like the art district of Orlando. We were just blowing up. We played the last Punk on the Patio, which is like an Orlando tradition. We were like on the final lineup ever. Like, it was just,
Well, hopefully not
like
ever.
Well, unfortunately, it was technically supposed to be the final Punk on the Patio, as like Montgomery Drive had been doing that for a while. But as sad as that is, it also was like the greatest honor to like be considered for that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to Montgomery Drive, because not only have they set us up with pretty much all of our biggest shows and our most favorite concert experiences and stuff, but to put us on that final Punk on the Patio, that like really got us, I think, where we are today. Like, escalating ride of like popularity in the local scene, and we were like featured in Orlando Weekly and all this fun stuff. And it peaked when we opened for Microwave, when I was backstage with Microwave teaching them about animals and playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 with the lead singer, and I was like, this is my peak of existence. And I thought we were just going up from there, and then like bam, like 3 weeks later COVID was like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so it was a super awesome ride. From the origin, it just like sped so fast, and it was like just all encompassing. I like just like dove in. I'm also the band manager, so it was like a whole new experience for me, and it was super awesome. And then it was just like, bitch, and I was like, oh, just kidding.
Well,
never mind.
That's interesting, because you touched on COVID, obviously, unless people are living under rocks or on deserted islands or coming out of, solitary confinement. It's affected everybody, and that includes podcasters, comedians, musicians. What have you been doing during this time to just kind of stay sharp? Have you found any outlet? Because it's not easy. And when people find their lane, it's always good for the...
Are you asking me personally or like as a band? Because those are two different things.
Let's say as a band.
Our main focus for just quarantine has been taking over our EP that was just released and turning all of those into music videos, and then also obviously writing new material and stuff. And it's been a little difficult because of like all of us being in different places. We haven't had like a physical in-person band practice since like April. So all of our stuff has been on Zoom, has been on like Facebook Messenger, whatever, video chats and stuff. Dropbox, like, hey, here's an idea for a guitar, and then Ethan takes his drum like kit. He has like an e-kit behind me, and like he'll just start trying to lay tracks over it and stuff. And we already were doing so well, and then COVID was like, nah, fuck you. And then we were just like, now what? So we put out our music video. We try to cheer people up. Actually, Ty got to see the music video before the final edits were done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a big
very
deal.
Special. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, and like, so we finally put that out and everything. And our music is out now, but like, it's definitely, I feel like quarantine, like it's obviously paused the whole world, but like, I feel like out of all the things that I've had personally paused in my life, like watching this shit happen to my band was definitely like the like most fuckery, if that makes sense,
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's done it to a lot of people. I mean, even in like pivoting to just even the comedy realm, I had like all these bookings lined. Like it was like finally things were like opening up. I'm like, hell yeah, we're doing this. The show was hot that we do here in Atlanta. Everything was getting hot. And then I flew down to Orlando, actually, funny enough, and did, a couple local shows down there. And as soon as I came back to Atlanta, it was like over. It was just done.
Yep.
And there's nothing to really promote right now. I 100% agree with that. Like even with doing the podcast, it's like, I mean, how aggressive can you promote? Because it's like there just is the constant feeling of like, yeah, there's definitely more important shit for people to be talking about and listening to.
I feel like it's definitely tough having like your own self goals and ambitions, and like, you want to like, we all have this innate desire right now for life to keep moving. We're sick of fucking sitting in the same shit and being stir crazy. We want like our lives to carry on, and social media is the only outlet that we can do that with right now. But it's almost like, I don't exactly know like the word to describe, but it's almost like not tedious, but I don't know, like a little annoying. You know what I mean? Like for other people, they're like, yeah, I get it. Like, you know what? But like, I'm dealing with this shit. I don't give a fuck about your comedy show. Like, or I'm dealing with this shit. Like, I don't want to hear about how great your EP is. Okay. Like, this is a little chaotic for me right now. And it's just like, I know, I'm sorry, but like, my life's shit too. I'm just trying to be positive about a few things. Yeah. But like you get this innate like guilt on there, and you're just like, never mind. I'll shut the fuck up and delete my posts. It's rough.
Okay. Outside of COVID though, so you guys started in Orlando. You're a hometown band.
Yes.
Now, I know the Orlando comedy scene. I'm very interested. How would you describe the Orlando music punk scene?
They are very, very interconnected. Like if you know someone, you know everyone kind of thing,
Mhm.
which is very family-like, but also it gets kind of repetitive sometimes. Like I have friends that are in some pretty big local bands here that are in like 5 other bands that are also local bands here. And like, it's almost like you keep seeing the same people like shuffled in different stages.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh yeah, like I know this really awesome girl, Kaylee. She's in Chalet Girl and she's in Boston Marriage, and she's like every time I like see her, she's like in another band. And like it's like it's all interconnected. So I'd like to say it's really big, but it's actually like pretty small.
Yeah.
And what I will say is that Orlando is such a hub for music, of all sorts, especially EDM, I feel like. But definitely like Latin music and punk music would be like running up next, or I wouldn't say punk, but like the alternative scene. There's so many DIY artists, and that ranges from like noise rock to like industrial shit to like pop punk, and then there's like a huge section of like hardcore. So there's like I can list like 10 deathcore bands just like that I have friends in, like off the top of my head, that I've seen like around downtown. Like I've played shows like with this awesome band called Canvas, and I've like we like went out to Tampa for it, and I had to follow up their performance, and the lead singer was stapling money to his body, and I just like took like 2 drinks and was just like, Jesus Christ, like how am I can't this what what do I
You got to be
I'm not
dedicated.
stapling shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But so like there's super hardcore people in the scene, and I respect them greatly.
I mean, no, that's. I mean, I imagine you need to be pretty hardcore to live in Florida alone.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna add this punk or hard rock or metal element to it, I feel like you have to be a real bad motherfucker.
That's right. I have a quick question about the stapling money guy.
Yeah.
What
Omer is his name.
okay. What denomination of money? We talking singles,
Oh.
tens, fives?
You know what? I have
the bigger it is, the more hardcore that is. Because if he's
Yeah.
stapling Franklin's to himself, that's awesome. But
I
singles, I'm like,
that.
the staples almost
Mhm.
cost as much as the singles.
I'll be honest with you. I'm nearsighted, so I have no idea what
The
on
truth
stage
comes
that man
out.
is
No, you know what?
stapling himself.
I understand. I've got vision issues myself. I completely understand that.
I do want to test how hardcore you are, though, CC.
Okay.
We have a game here today that's going to test some punk knowledge. It's a game that, I mean, maybe we can come up with a better name, but right now it's Punk or Bunk.
Okay, I dig it. Yeah.
I don't think there's a better name, Ty.
Well, I mean, sometimes you have to fake the humility, but so essentially the concept of the game is we're going to give you some song titles. Some of these are going to be actual punk bands. They're going to be actual punk songs. Others are just going to be a bunch of words we hastily threw together right before this interview. You have to guess which one's going to be punk and which one's going to be bunk. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah. That works for me. So you guys came up with the other ones?
Yeah. It's just a bunch of, words, maybe like a random word generator, whatever we could.
Okay. All right. And if I like some, maybe I can keep them.
You can have them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll
Matt, do you
figure
want
out royalties. All right.
Honestly, I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to have my people get a hold of your people, but thank you for getting that on the record.
It's perfect. I am my people, so just
shit.
doing it right over here.
All right, so the first song is going to be "If This Tour Doesn't Kill You, I Will."
I'm going to say Bunk.
It's actually punk.
Really? Whose is it?
This is going to be a Canadian band called Pup.
Oh my God, I love Pup. That's very interesting. Okay.
I think it's an opening song on their second album. So
Heard.
now we know.
That's awesome. It gave me almost Panic at the Disco vibes. Like
it's a little long, right?
That one song, there's a good reason these tables are numbered, honey. You just haven't figured it out yet. Full.
Wow.
full title.
I wonder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I figured that one was. Also, kind of sounds too. It sounds like it's a little too on the nose for punk. So I get where you get confused on that.
I
But
felt like I felt like I was being tricked.
well, so
All
are
right.
you ready for round 2 here?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. All right, so round 2, we have a song here. It's called "Soggy Cereal on Sundays."
Oh man. It sounds like a Mom Jeans song. Um Why do I feel like you made that up?
There's only one way to find out.
Uh,
Is it punk or bunk?
I'm gonna say Bunk again.
And you would be right.
Ah! Yay!
We'll get a ding in there. We'll get a ding somewhere in there. All right, all right. I don't want you to get too confident here. There's a third round. Can we do it?
Oh yeah, I was expecting like a million. Let's do it.
Yeah, there's probably about like 6. We'll get through them though. We got
Okay.
this. I'm feeling good.
I'm
All
in no
right.
hurry.
If my cat doesn't like you, then I don't either.
I hope that's a punk song. I'm gonna go for punk.
It's actually Bunk, but it should be a punk song, and you guys
All
should
right.
make it.
I might take
Yeah.
that one.
That is a
Take
good
that.
Because
one.
it's true. If my cat Gara doesn't like you, something's wrong with you, bro. Like, stay out of my house.
Yeah. All right, all right, all right. I'm feeling good. All right, this is a long one. Jesus. The boredom is the reason I started swimming. It's also the reason I started sinking.
That sounds so emo.
It
Oh my
does.
god. Mm, let's say punk.
You'd be right. It's the front bottoms.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah, doesn't it? I was so afraid you were gonna get it like right off the bat because I'm like, that is just such a fucking front bottoms title right there.
You know what though? I don't know that song off the top of my head. And so I was like, come on, that sounds too emo to be just made up on the spot. I was like, I mean, I don't know. But that's funny. That's awesome. Front bottoms. Got it. Okay, cool.
All right, cool. We're getting a rhythm here. I'm feeling good. This next one is called "Scott, Get the Van, I'm Moving."
That also sounds like that would be a punk song. So I'm gonna say punk.
That's a punk song. It is a punk song.
Nice.
I wish I
great-
wrote the artist. I don't
that's
have
a
the
great
artist on
title.
that one.
We'll have to research it later.
All right, we'll get it later.
Another
All right.
intern. We'll get another intern on that
Yeah,
one.
we'll get an intern. Actually, if we'll get like a band member that's not super good on your part to intern on that one. So next one here, ice cream for breakfast.
Oh.
I love the look you give every time.
Because I'm sitting here thinking about like you sitting at your table just being like,
Scribbling away.
ice cream for breakfast, some soggy cereal, something like Sundays, whatever. I'm just like I'm trying to like visualize whether or not I can see that on Spotify as I'm like listening, or if I see you sitting with a notepad being like,
Well, they're kind of they're good song titles for you to pick up, so they
Yeah.
could be on Spotify.
Okay, can you say it again? What ice cream for breakfast?
Yeah, this song title is "Ice Cream for Breakfast."
I'm gonna say Bunk.
And you'd be right. It is Bunk. Oh my god! All right, this
An
one's gonna be
impressive
winner.
showing.
This one's gonna be winner take all. This is a big one. Okay.
Oh, what? Not majority?
It probably could be a majority. We'll fight it
Okay.
out after.
Either way, just let me win.
All right. So the next song title, "Old No Name."
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's a really tough one.
I'm sure.
Because it is jellyfish from SpongeBob.
It is a jellyfish from SpongeBob.
Yeah. So I guess whatever band used that must really fuck with SpongeBob. Or you were just watching SpongeBob and wrote it down, right?
What?
No.
I can't be a good friend.
It's punk.
It is punk. Absolutely, it is punk. All right. We gotta wrap this up. We're running out of time here. Where can the people find you, CC?
Where can they find me? So if you guys would like to find my band, it is going to be on Instagram. It's at No Handouts Florida, so FL. No Handouts FL. On Facebook, just type in regular or No Handouts. You'll see a silly picture of me and my bandmates, and we got all of our links on there. We did just release our our first ever music video to Full Bloom. And that's on YouTube. So you just type in No Handouts Full Bloom. And yeah, our EP Nervous Laughter. You can find that on any streaming service, like worldwide and international. Although I always recommend Spotify, because Spotify plays help our band get booked shows with bigger artists. So as terrible as it is to plug that, like, if you have a Spotify, please save our songs and like add them to playlists, share them with your friends. And yeah, that's where you'd find us.
All right. So I need your approval on this. Are we allowed to give like a little pink spoon of one of your songs after this interview?
Absolutely. Yeah,
right,
that'd be
cool.
awesome.
What song can we do? Old No Name?
You can do whatever you want.
We're gonna do Old No Name.
Your favorite. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, do Old No Name for that sake. Sure.
We should do it. We'll have a little pink spoon after this interview. CC, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to get you back.
Of course, I would love to be back anytime. I appreciate you guys taking the time to ask me to do this. This is the first interview that I've done for a podcast, so I'm honored. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a rockin' rest of your day.
Of course. See you, CC.
Thank you.